From headquarters, and they asked us if we could go ahead and show today a videotape of Mrs. Sun Myung Moon, true parents and head of our movement, and she gave a talk in, I guess it's in Las Vegas recently. Oh no, in Hawaii. We're going to be seeing this videotape from Hawaii. So it's about 17 minutes. So I don't want to stand up and give any kind of a sermon or make any kind of godly statements before watching this, because I would hate to have egg on my face for contradicting. But no, that wouldn't happen. But in any case, so for the first 17 minutes, we're going to watch this direct message to us from the head of our movement. And before I introduce that, I think we have a guest.
Yeah.
Come on, say.
Stand up and say what you're doing, Dan.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Dan John. I'm a senior at Duke, and I'm in a class studying Korean religion and Korean culture, so I just want to learn a bit more about this.
Okay, great. Okay, welcome. So you'll probably get 3 earfuls today. So good.
참부모 다 알고 있어요. 참부모로 말미암아 축복이란 말이 나오게 됐죠. 축복 가정. 놀라운 역사적인 혁명이야. 인간 시조 아담 해와가 타락함으로 말미암아 모든 인류는 거짓 부모를 가졌어. 사탄 마귀의 자손이 됐어. 세상에서도 그렇죠. 자기 육친의 부모가 당당하지 못하고 죄를 짓거나 세상에 비판을 받을 수 있는 자리에 부모를 가진 자식은 떳떳하지 못해요. 빛을 보지 못해요. 그런데 하나님께서 꿈을 가지시고 소망을 두시고 창조했던 인간 시조 아담 해와의 타락은 이루 말할 수 없는 한이었으며 절망이었어요. 본래에 창조되었던 본심작용이 제대로 동작을 못하고 사는 세상이 되어버렸어요. 그러나 하늘은 그냥 놔둘 수가 없기 때문에 시대적인 차이를 두고 교육에 나오셨던 역사를 우리는 알아요. 그래서 최종적으로 세계 4대 종교가 나왔죠. 그 중에서 유대민족을 길러서 메시아를 보내마 약속하셨던 4천년 역사는 오신 메시아를 맞지 못함으로 말미암아 어떻게 됐어요? 육신을 쓰고 와야만 하는 이유가 있는데 그 오신 메시아를 받아들이지 못하는 입장에 선 이스라엘 민족. 십자가에 돌아가시게 했던 이스라엘 민족은 역사에 어떻게 됐나요? 엄청난 탕감을 치렀어요. 그러나 하늘은 한 번 실패한 중심자나 나라를 다시 들어 쓰시지 않아요. 예수님이 십자가에 돌아가시면서 뭐라고 말했어요? 다시 오마. 다시 와서는 뭘 한다고 그랬어요? 어린 양 잔치를 한다고 그랬어요. 예수님께서 메시아로 오셨지만은 책임을 못 하셨기 때문에 어디가 계신다고 말했나요? 낙원이에요, 낙원. 지금까지 인류는 예수를 잘 믿고 선하게 살아도 가는 것이 낙원 정도야. 낙원은 천국 들어가기 위한 대기실이야. 대합실. 2000년 동안 하늘은 수고롭게 기독교 문화권을 일구어 나오셨어요. 초기에 많은 탕감을 치렀어요. 오직 한때 구름 타고 오시는 메시아를 다시 만날 수 있다는 희망의 신앙을 유지하며 2000년이 걸려 나왔어요. 그동안에 기독교권은 많은 종파가 생기게 됐죠. 미국이 기독교 국가로서 탄생된 것은 16세기 이후야. 그렇죠? 필그림화다. 청교도들이 종교의 자유를 찾아서 이주해온 이 미국이었어. 처음 시작은 하늘의 뜻을 받들어서 하늘을 먼저 공경하고 그리고 교회를 세우죠. 그리고 후대를 약속할 수 있는 학교를 세우죠. 그리고 나서 자기네들의 살 집을 지었어요. 환경을 창조하기 위한 준비를 했어요. 그런데 어떻게 됐나요? 미국 역사의 200년을 거쳐 나오면서 하늘은 편을 들었어요. 축복했어요. 부를 누렸어요. 세계의 중심이 될 수 있는 기독교 문명권을 만들게 축복하셨어요. 그런데 크게 생각하지 못하고 타락한 인류가 항상 도중하차라는 말을 하게 되는데 끝까지 갈 수가 없는 그런 자리에서 지고 말아요. 1970년대 미국은 세계의 중심 국가로 등장은 했지만은 내부적으로 많은 문제점을 안고 있었어요. 가정 파탄, 윤리 문제, 또 사상적인 면, 공산주의, 민주주의의 대결. 자유세계의 자본주의는 자기 중심이야. 서로 사랑으로 주님을 맡기 위한 참 형제로서 출발은 했지만은 결국은 개인주의로 흘러가게 됐어요. 자기 중심하게 되니까 하늘은 더 기다릴 수가 없으셨어요. 그때 아버님께서 미국을 찾아오셨죠. 미국의 가정 파탄이 생겼으니 뭐라고 그랬나요? 의사로 왔다. 내가 소방수로 왔다. 그리고 50개 주를 순회 강연하시면서 미국의 부흥을, 미국이 본래 사명해야 될 소명의식을 일깨워 주셨어요. 그래 초기에는 많은 뜻있는 사람들이 따랐어요. 존경했어요. 그런데 결과적으로 미국이 어떻게 했나요? 그렇게 2000년 동안 엄청난 탕감을 치르고 세워놓은 기독교권, 기독교를 대표하는 미국이 메시아를 바로 보았나요? 메시아를 받아들였나요? 댄버리 교도소까지 보내드린 이 나라. 2000년 전에 이스라엘 민족은 십자가에 예수님을 매달아서 돌아가시겠는데 2000년 동안 하늘이 계몽하고 길러나온 기독교권은 그렇게 소망하던 메시아를 보냈는데 바라보지 못하고 미국을 도와주러 오신 분을 감옥을 가게 하다니. 그 와중에서도 아버님은 남미의 공산화되는 것을 막기 위해서 댄버리 교도소에서 니카라과 문제를 워싱턴 타임스를 통해서 도와주셨어요. 이 엄청난 빚을 이 남북미가 언제 참 부모님께 그 빚을 갚겠나. 오늘 참부모의 55주년이라고 그랬는데 50주년이면은 금혼식이야. 공교롭게도 2020이 금강 혼식이 돼. 다이아몬드 결혼식으로 기념할 수 있는 날이 되는 거야. 오늘 여러분들 이 나라에 지도자들이 모였다고 그래서 하는 얘기인데 이제 5년여 밖에 남지 않은 이 금강혼식에 참 부모님 앞에 커다란 다이아몬드를 사드릴 건가? 이 나라를 봉헌할 건가? 더 나아가서 세계를 봉헌할 건가? 어떤 자세로 여러분이 오늘을 맞아야 할지를 생각해야 돼. 우리는 참 부모님으로 인해서 인류 역사 처음으로 있는 축복 가정이야. 참 부모님으로 말미암아 기원절을 맞았고 천일국의 백성으로서 입적이 될 수 있는 자리에 여러분들이 놓였어. 세상 70억이 있지만은 이 놀라운 우주사적인 천주사적인 이 엄청난 비밀을 우리만이 알고 있어. 그리고 또 여러분들은 행복하게도 조상의 자리에 설 수 있다는 거야. 조상의 자리. 2000년을 거슬러 내려가서 예수님의 12제자들의 그 품위가 어떻게 되어 있나? 여러분들이 생각해 봐야 돼. 재림 메시아를 맞아 축복을 받은 축복 가정들의 일대기는 어때야 될까? 처음이자 마지막인 여러분의 조상의 자리야. 조상의 자리. 그런데 여러분들의 노력 요하에 따라서 황족의 대표가 될 수 있고 명문가가 될 수 있는 자리가 또 돼 있어. 근데 여러분들은 어느 것을 선택할 건가? 행복은 나누면 나눌수록 커진다는 말이 있지. 여러분들이 알고 있는 것을 나눠야 돼. 세상 사람들에게 알게 해줘야 돼. 참 부모를 여러분들은 밝혀줘야 돼. 드러내야 돼. 여러분들이 맡은 바 책임을 어제와 오늘 그 별 차이 없이 그 어제도 그만 오늘도 그만 내일도 그만 이런 식으로는 여러분들은 명문가 조상의 자리에 설 수 없어. 여러분들이 처음 된 자지만은 나중된 자가 여러분의 자리를 찾을 수 있는 거야. 그런데 그것은 참 부모님 제셋이야. 알겠나? 내가 살아서 있다는 것이 더 귀하고 중요한 거야. 그런 자리에 여러분들이 동참하지 못한다면 여러분들은 설 자리가 없어. 축복받았으니 천국은 들어가겠지. 그렇지만은 여러분들의 환경권이 만들어지지 못하면은 자유로울 수가 없어. 지금은 나와 이렇게 가까이서 대면하고 대화도 나눌 수 있지만은 여러분들이 책임을 못하고 가게 되면은 어떻게 되겠나? 여러분 스스로가 양심작용에서 알아. 내 자신의 평가가 어느 정도라 하는 걸 알게 돼. 우리가 육신 생활은 길게 살아야 100년이야. 근데 우리가 가야 할 곳은 영원이야, 영원. 천년 만년. 여러분들이 어리석지 않고 지혜로운 사람이라면은 어떻게 결심하고 행동해야 되겠나? 참 부모님 제세시에 축복받은 축복 가정. 20년이 됐다, 30년이 됐다, 40년이 됐다. 자랑할 수 있어야 돼. 알겠습니까? 예. 어떻게 행동해야 되겠나? 달라져야지. 지금 외적으로 이루어지고 있는 세계는 초스피드야. 깜빡할 사이에 지금 아마 내가 여기서 얘기하고 있는 것도 순간 다 연결이 됐을 거야. 이렇게 하늘은 우리를 위해서, 인류를 위해서 이 문명의 이 길을 이렇게 발달시켜 주셨는데 그것을 잘 사용해서 여러분들이 종족 메시아의 사명, 국가 복귀, 세계 복귀 해야 되잖아. 그게 지금 현재 여러분들이 살고 있는 목적이야. 그래야지만 여러분들의 후손 2세, 3세가 행복을 누릴 수 있는 거야. 여러분들이 매일 가정 맹세를 지키며 생활하고 있나? 어떻게 살아가라는 거 다 지시해 주셨어. 그것을 여러분들이 열매를 만들고 물건을 만드는 거는 여러분들 책임이야. 그래야지 참 부모권에 여러분들이 동참했다는 자식의, 자녀의 자리에 들어설 수 있는 거잖아. 미국 교회가 여기 오프닝 테이블 앞에서 활활 타고 있는 촛불처럼 성령의 불꽃, 진리의 말씀의 불꽃 활활 타올라서 그 지역을 모두 복귀할 건가? 예. 여러분들을 칭찬해주고 도와줄 수 있는 내가 있는 것을 여러분들이 감사해야 돼. 솔직히 말해봐. 오늘 아침에 나 보니까 좋아, 나빠? 예. 여러분들의 희망이 되나? 감사한가? 예. 나도 하늘 부모님 앞에 여러분들을 자랑하고 싶어. 이 거대한 이 나라 2억인가 2억 5천인가 3억인가 이 사람들이 불붙게 되면은 세계가 하나로 될 수 있을까? 2000년 전에 로마 제국이 로마의 길은 세계로 통한다 했어. 2000년 후에 이 아메리카 세계로 통한다 하면 좋겠지. 그것은 여러분들이 참 부모님이 백이야. 참 부모님이 빠지게 되면은 여러분들은 껍데기야. 무용지물이야. 참 부모님을 중심에 모시고 말씀대로 실천 공행하는 통일의 자랑스러운 미국의 책임자, 용자들이 되자.
Something that we need to really pray about and think about and reflect these words. True Mother, she went through a kind of an overview, explaining, that from the beginning of time, we've been separated from God. That God is the invisible, eternal, heavenly parent of all mankind, the designer, the creator of the universe, and yet we live even in this modern world, we live in a world where there are people who absolutely don't believe God exists for reasonable reasons, and even among faithful people, as True Mother mentioned, there are so many different, even among Christians, there are so many divisions. Protestant, of course, the Protestant Church and the Catholic Church as a general, but even among Protestants, there's the Lutherans, the Presbyterians, the Episcopalians, the Seventh-day Adventists, the Baptists, the Methodists. You go on and on and on and on, and then you have people like us, members of a unique kind of Christian-based movement, you know, with a very unique set of ideas and principles and values that we guide our lives by. And, you know, the Mormon Church, not necessarily accepted in mainstream Christianity, and yet a powerful religious movement in America. So, True Mother really sharing the heart that we, each one of us, you know, we've had this opportunity to become members of this movement. We met Reverend Moon and Mrs. Moon. I personally met Reverend Moon for the first time exactly 40 years ago on March 6th of 1974. He came to this country and was traveling in that speaking tour. She said he came like a doctor or a firefighter. You know, when there's trouble, you call someone from the outside to help you deal with the issues. So Reverend Moon came from Korea, you know, especially in those days. Korea was more foreign a country to us then than it is now. But he came as this very unique and different Korean evangelist, you know, speaking about Christianity and crisis and talking extensively about the Bible and Jesus. And I was very impressed as a young 19-year-old boy. And obviously I ended up becoming a member, and Reverend Moon blessed me to my wife Sharon. But in any case, these values, these principles, this teaching, True Mother is really saying, you know, for us, we need to take responsibility. We need to be able to be grateful for what God has blessed us with. You know, we have this opportunity. You know, this is a room with very few people, but our members are from every conceivable background, every race, every culture, every nationality, every level of intellect and wealth and social standing. You know, it's an amazing conglomeration of people who are so connected in heart to each other. You know, we really love each other, we really support each other, we really care about each other as a family, because that is God. And that is the meaning of true parents. The meaning of true parents isn't that, you know, we worship them, or they're going to carry the heavy load, or they're going to do all the work for us. The meaning of true parents is that they teach us, and they are an example of the unconditional love of God, and brought, you know, Father brought a very important teaching about Jesus, about our relationship with Jesus, about the meaning of salvation, about, you know, 2,000 years ago, what Jesus went through, and how Christ will return. But he can't come in a supernatural way. He can't come in some supernatural way on the clouds and destroy half of the world and send people to hell. That will never happen. The Messiah comes as a person who can really embody the Spirit of God and the love of God, who learns very deep things about God's purpose for us. And as a parent, guiding and educating their children, you know, to follow certain fundamental principles in life so that they can find joy and happiness. That's what true parents do. They taught us fundamental, essential principles that we are responsible to embody ourselves. And then we have to become people of true love. Love each other, you know, husbands loving their wives, parents loving their children, being good citizens, patriotic, loving our country, loving our culture, loving our religion, whatever it might be. But always with the realization that we are one. We are one people. Every single human being has to be treated with dignity. You know, this, in my personal, humble opinion, one of the greatest things discovering in this movement is how precious each individual person is. that God has not created us and predestined some people to be saved and some people not to be saved. He created each one of us with a potential and intends that someday, somehow, we will reach that potential. If we don't reach that potential in these 100 years that we are alive on this earth, as True Mother pointed out, everybody dies. Nobody's going to live, beyond 100 years. I was so impressed. You don't think, True Mother is 70-something years old. She looks so well, but reality is, she's coming to the end of her time on this earth, just as Reverend Moon passed away. And just as each one of us is destined to get older, and then eventually we are going to pass away. But as people of faith, as people who understand the principle of spiritual and physical reality, we know that our existence does not end when we die, that we go through a transformation. Exactly like the caterpillar that enters the cocoon and then comes out as a butterfly. A transformation, becoming a very different kind of being. And when we pass away and enter into the spiritual world, we will be different. But the essence of ourselves will be the same. I will still be John Pace. My wife will still be Sharon Pace. But we will be living in a different type of energy existence. Almost like a quantum place. But in any event, I think we each have to take responsibility to really pray and to try to internalize what's happening now in this movement, because of course, the founder of our movement, God, powerful, such a person who was so central and so loving, and yet so in charge while he was alive. He did so many things, but to have that person suddenly gone, to leave this vacuum. And True Mother, True Mother is True Mother. True Father was True Father, but True Mother is a different kind of person. And you can see her approach, to embrace us, but, using those words that come almost like arrows. Your conscience has to tell you what to do. So God is really depending on us to embody the love that we've experienced. We experienced so much. Our movement has gone through so many things, and yet here we stand, people who have absolute confidence in the greatness of this country. America is a great country because America made this foundation of freedom. All races, all cultures, all nationalities, all religions, every kind of conceivable person is free in America to pursue their interests, and to the extent that those interests aren't anti-principle or anti-human, people aren't free to commit heinous crimes or to hurt each other. But, we're all endowed by our Creator with these inalienable rights for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And, God really blessed our country for that. And as True Mother pointed out, what does America do with that blessing? Sometimes it's just frittered away, partying or, anyway. The point is that we are responsible to share our lives. That's what we're being asked to do. It's very simple. We need to share our lives with other people in such a way that it gives them hope, gives them confidence, gives them courage. We need to help people understand there are fundamental values and principles that we have in common, that we can create one united world of peace and freedom and true love. It is so close. We have it already in this room. We've had it in our movement. You know, people used to accuse us of, they said, I remember when I first joined our church, people said, oh, you know, you're brainwashed by Reverend Moon, or you would kill your parents if he asked you to, or you would, you know, jump off a cliff if he asked you to. So that was just ridiculous. That was totally opposite of the kinds of things we believe in and the kind of things we teach. And now, history shows, you know, did we do all these crazy things? Well, we have big marriages to encourage family values, but did any of us hurt our parents? You know, is there anybody that went to jail because they went against their... No, quite the opposite. People tried to hurt us. But in any case, it is a time for us to really reflect and rethink and evaluate ourselves and be confident. And even we need to become bold in sharing our lives with people. That's why I, really enjoy going to Kai's house the other day and inviting the neighbors to come over and play games and things like that. And then I visit the game stores on Wednesday, just sharing with people. You know, that's what we need to do, to really share from our hearts with each other and encourage people to consider. Because there are a lot of people out there that they don't have the same sense of hope, the same sense of confidence. They certainly aren't aware that God has made available a teaching and understanding for us that can bridge the gap between science and religion, that can bridge all the gaps between the different denominations. It's not easy because everybody is proud and everybody is so confident that their way is the right way. And in many cases, everybody has some part of the right way. And that's what we acknowledge. All of the major faiths were inspired by God. It's not just about Christianity. Buddhism, Confucianism, Islam, those religions. God, in his wisdom in those cultures, in that time in history, he was guiding people, inspiring. He inspired the Prophet Muhammad. He guided Buddha. You know, because of their sincerity, because of their seriousness for their people in their time, God was able to give them some kind of insight, some kind of revelation. And they changed their country, they changed their culture. But now is the final stage, the final step of understanding the big picture, and then putting the final pieces of the puzzle together so that we can really live together as one family of God, as one family centered on true parental love, and share that love with each other. That's true peace, true freedom, and true happiness. So I had prepared a different service, but after hearing these words and being reminded of our responsibility, it strikes me deeply. So please let us find a way to share with our friends, with our neighbors, with people. We need to share our lives with each other. So many terrible things happen. This shooter at Fort Hood, or someone going into schools. Why do these people end up doing these things? Because they don't have friends. They don't really have friends that are willing to just spend time with them and put their arm around them and say, hey, what's happening? Let's go out and do this. Let's do something together. It doesn't take a bunch of drugs, to solve people's problems, like in our world today. We've got drugstores on every corner of the street. Why? And it's not really that necessary. If people emotionally, if people really engaged each other and shared with each other, find things that we like to do and do them with each other, There's so much good things, so many good things happening in this world. So much positive things in every country. There's such righteous and good and decent people. Of course, the media, it's more fun to talk about the extreme cases. It's not big news that so-and-so went out and helped their neighbor do this or that. But those things are real and they happen. And that's what we have to constantly remember and remind ourselves of. So let's really make a determination this week to really pray together and really reflect on our lives and the things that we were able to have been taught and understand, especially through the teaching, the divine principle. Reverend Moon spent his entire life educating and teaching and trying to encourage us to take seriously the scriptures and the stories in the Bible and to learn the lessons, to really learn the lessons of how we can become really mature and good people that can really share love and compassion and concern for each other. And we have to become citizens of the kingdom of heaven. That's what the whole idea of Chanil Guk is, that we each are responsible to become citizens of the kingdom of heaven and to share that reality with each other. So even though there's a small number of us here, but with God, God's Spirit and God's love, nothing can stop that. Like the ocean constantly going back and forth through the tides. God's love and God's truth and God's goodness is absolute. And it's only our responsibility to really embody that and share it with other people. Thank you. Let's pray. Our dearest Heavenly Parent, Almighty God, the designer and the creator of this incredible universe with all its intricacies and all its amazing details, how remarkable it is that we find ourselves in this one room together, in this one moment in time and space on this earthly plane, and we have the ability to think and consider and reflect and experience life. We can experience joy and happiness, and we can experience misery and sorrow and frustration. And yet we can take charge and control, and we can be responsible to make an effort to find the ways to embody the ideals of true love, of true life and true lineage. Thank you. Thank you for being patient with all of us for thousands and thousands of years. Even 2,000 years ago, you sent someone so precious, so special as Jesus, who had such a deep relationship with you and such insight that even after his death, he was able to reappear to his disciples and educate them, and they went out and created a movement that became Christianity, that embodies such intimate and important values of relationship with you and with other people. Jesus' essential teaching: love God with all your mind, with all your heart, and love others as you would love yourselves. This is the core teaching that we need to embody and share with you and with each other. Thank you, our Heavenly Parent, that you guided us, and in this very special time, in the 20th century, in this 21st century that we live in, you've sent a very bright light and to illuminate our environment and to teach us and to show us an example, a standard of true love. And you have taught us through our true parents now, the divine principle. Help us to embody it ourselves and share it with other people. Thank you again and again for your love and your truth and your goodness. Please bless each person here. Every single person is precious to you, not just in this room, not just our own family and ancestors, but every human being has a place in your heart as your son or your daughter. Thank you for that realization And we offer our prayers to you as we conclude this service time. We even are able to pray in our own names as blessed central families. And I pray in my name, John Pace, with my wife Sharon Pace, as a blessed central family. We report these things and conclude these things. Amen. And adieu.